Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is January 2026. This is your forecast. Wow, it is an amazing month because we're having a double reset, a Venus and Mars activation. Both of them are rare in your third house. This is a kind of a month where you're going to notice that some big changes are underway. They're groundbreaking shifts, and you're going to see a kind of vibe. First part of the month, you're really like social and having fun and maybe doing some local travel and maybe working on some writing or marketing and selling stuff. And then you're going to move into this later in the month and really be focused on your domestic and home life. But all said and done, themes of your relationship, your romance, your pleasure, your fun, travel, and moving is kind of a nice vibe. A beautiful little mini triangle sets up station in your sky for much of the month and really brings you some luck and grace. And Mars is the activator of your sign, and he's the one having the massive kaboom reset on the January 9th timeframe. Let's break this month down for you. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. This is our Western Tropical Zodiac Whole Sign House System. And I'm helping you time your best life of January. But if you want the whole frigging year of 2026, I created 2+ hour videos and a 26-page PDF guidebook for the whole year. That content for your sign is available for $22 on sale. Check it out below. As well, if you don't want just to buy one sign like Sun, Moon, or Rising, you want to get the bundle so you can listen for all three, share with friends and family, share with stocking stuffers, whatever. That's on sale too for $55. And don't forget, that's more than 24 hours of forecasting video content, 12 signs, 2+ video hours videos. You can grab it in the more button down below. It's a digital download. You can listen to the videos audible. You can download the audio format, the video format, or in the watchable format with timestamps. I got chocolate on my lip. I just ate chocolate before I saw you guys. I'm recording on December 19th for my Patreon community. It gets early access ad-free. And no, I'm not going to fix the problem. I'm not going to start all over. I'm not that picky about perfection. I've learned to be better than that in my older age. Okay. So that's so funny. Let's get going, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you like my channel, if this kind of content with all signs delineations is your cup of tea, please like and subscribe. Thank you. December's been a bitch of a month for subscriptions, and I don't know, could close the channel down next year. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. All right. So Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Rising sign, your character in the simulation, not the true you, but circumstantially very sensitive to life change. Sun, career and purpose matters, but the one who plays the character in the simulation, the true game player. And your moon is your emotions and thoughts about reality, but also your home and domestic life. So matters to do with where you live, may be activated by listening for your moon sign. Okay, so try all three. So Scorpio, first things first, as we begin the month of January, just as the month is beginning, Mercury on like the day beforehand, like New Year's Eve, right? January 30th, January 31st, and then into even January 1st, December, I mean. New Year's Eve, New Year's day after. Okay, watch out for this, okay? This is hangover city, okay? This is like, what the hell were you thinking? This is, you put a lot of stuff in your mouth and now you got a headache from hell. So this is, be careful not to overdo it. But more than that, this is news or information about money on a deeper level, your resources, your finances, or confusing conversations with a significant romantic partner that may occur just before New Year's Eve and New Year's Day after you wake up, and it's January 1st. So this is one of those conversations, if it's with a romantic partner, where you're going to really need to ask each other to speak clearly so you can figure out what the hell the other person is trying to say. There's definitely some confusion here, and it may involve confusion with romantic issues and speech, or you've just way too overindulged and now you're paying the price. So be careful. Then we go here. Once we move into January 1st and 2nd, same idea, we begin to see the stellium building in your third house. Now, we love the third house for certain things. It's your local neighborhood. So it's your pubs and restaurants and stores that you go to. It's the socialization and the environment that you inhabit on the daily. Although with Mars, it can also involve travel, shorter distance travel, I shall say. So you might have noticed that when Mars moved into this part of your chart on December the 15th, through till January 22nd, you probably back then, December 15th, and this continues to January 22nd, are getting up in the car, road trips, shorter distance flights, domestic travel. You're probably out and about and you're wanting to get some road time in, or maybe, right? Travel time in. And you also might have noticed, as you know, Venus has been in your third house before now, December 24th, and leaves on January 17th, that also can invite more travel, pleasure travel, fun travel, joyful leisure travel, all of that stuff. More so, though, when we see that we have Venus in your third house, especially now that Mercury joins in on January 2nd, all right, and Mercury will be hanging there for quite a while. Mercury will be there all the way through until January 20th, you're going to be very social. Okay, so there's a lot of social energy in the first 3 weeks of January. Some of it started beforehand, it doubles down. If you're not social, you are working hard on an online business, marketing and selling, communicating, maybe learning or teaching. And if you have a business that requires you to sell and market and communicate, then you're going to be very busy applying yourself to it. And once Mercury, and you would have been already busy starting on December 15th, but once Mercury adds his mix into the storyline, now you're going to find commercial success. So it's not a bad time for starting a website, launching a product, getting more traction in your creative online marketing, selling, social media platforms. This is a good time for also doing a lot of work behind the scenes because all of the planets are invisible. So you could be working on preparing a new business model, writing a book, engineering changes to your website, getting ready to launch a new social media platform or something like that. And with the activation of 3 energies in your house of entrepreneurship, I'm speaking especially to those of you who are self-directed in your life, but all of you could still feel there's a lot of focus here. Now, one of the things I will mention is that as we begin the year and we see that we have a stellium here, wow, Venus and Mars are resetting themselves in the first 9 days of January in ways that are very, very rare. And we'll be doing separate videos on each of these on my channel. I have a Mars webinar and a Mercury Gazemi coming up. One's free, one's not. Check it in my description box below so you can know how to handle this incredible stuff. But here we go. Venus resets herself with the sun, divine headquarters, solar reset. She does this in this part of your sky on the every 4-year cycle. So back in 2022, back in 2018, back in 2014, keep going backwards, reset, 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 Venus, Sun in your third house. For some of you, it's a change of neighborhood. This is your local neighborhood. This is your siblings, changes in the life of your siblings, changes in your local neighborhood, changes in your online social media sphere, changes in your travel plans and writing, communicating. But Venus is deeper than a short story. You don't just go, oh, well, this happened on January the 6th, and that's when Venus will actually co-join the sun. And then you just stop there. Oh, no. This is a very lucky day. Venus in the heart of the sun. Just so you know, you could use it. You could launch a website. You could put a social media post out. You can go on a first date. You know, you could take the trip. You could book the trip. Okay, great. But deeper than the conjunction at 16 degrees of Capricorn on January 6th, deeper than that, is she wants to send you into a new auspicious direction connected to the environment of the third house. Some of you may launch into within 9 to 10 months, like a baby being born. So until October, it might send you in a direction to go to school. This kind of education, especially with Jupiter witnessing it, very powerful. And with the sun here, of course, it could be professional education or education that's going to help you with your work. So some of you may be going into some educational settings over the 10 months that follow for professional educational reasons in particular. This could also invite you to go on a trip that looks like a spiritual retreat, a gallivant, or a pilgrimage. This could also open up a change of neighborhood. Not only with Venus's reset, but Mars. We'll get to that. So some of you might change your home, move to a new home, buy a home, or rent a home. But what I'm saying is it could be a change of city or locale or region or neighborhood coming for you. This would not likely look like moving to another country. Most possibly it looks like moving within the country you're in, but with an exalted Jupiter witnessing the shebang in the 9th house of foreign lands, I can't guarantee that your change of neighborhood isn't also a change of country. but there should be a potential opportunity witnessed by you by October that invites a move. I want you to pay attention to what happens on January 6th. Sometimes emails, phone calls, texts, and events that occur on the Cazimi give you clues as to where this direction will take you. If you're a writer, this is an auspicious reset button in the house of writing, and you may conceive a new book, a book project, or get a book publishing deal in the 9 months that follows this reset button. And it's not too bad for starting a new social media platform, creating a new website, that kind of stuff. I mean, to register a domain for a new website on that day in your third house, super sweet. That would be a big yes. We're talking about January 6th. And Venus will try to translate some of this energy the best she can. Venus will try to translate her divine mission instructions from the sun, if she can, to you getting more digital income, borderless revenue, and money from far off places and lands. She'll try to translate it to some more harmony and a reset button within your significant long-term love relationship. Given that she is also hooked up to the North Node, well, there could be a fertility reset. I'd say this is sometime you could go on a trip with a significant long-term love partner and find yourself excitingly or shockingly pregnant, you or your person. And you might even find that this reset button shows you that to be true sooner than next October. How about conceiving a child in January and seeing the baby or February come out in the month of October? Venus is not visible. Okay. We can't see the girl until early to mid-February. So in that regard, even if you got pregnant now, you won't even know it till mid to end of February. So you or your partner. This could apply to similar themes, perhaps for one of your children, but it's more directly applying to the Scorpionic people. Like you, but you never know. It could also be one of your kids based on where Jupiter is in the house of grandchildren. So everything I said about fertility applies to you discovering by October you will be or are a grandparent. Alrighty, so then next we see the Mars story. Mars is going to actually, he's exalted, he's very powerful here, and he's going to also join in with the sun on the 9th. But just before he does, and that beautiful triple stellium, he's going to connect on the 8th to Venus, the cosmic lovers, masculine and feminine, action and desire, decisions and yearnings are becoming one energetic, one. It's a birth of a synodic cycle. Now I'm not going to talk about that. That's a big deep dive video in January, but all said and done, it's got a few meanings here. There could be an opportunity here that emerges around January the 8th, although everybody's invisible, so we shall see, for a kind of fated, destined new romance if you're single. But if you're single, you're going to meet the person because of, I don't know, maybe travel, maybe because you're hanging in the local pub, maybe because you're on a dating app. These are all very third house things, you know. But if you are a single Scorpio looking for love, or you're in a teaching or educational setting and boom, you guys could meet each other. Coming off the synodic cycle, maybe January 8th, a couple days before and a couple days after, could be the onset of a brand new romance. It might require some commuting or long distance travel, and Venus rules the house of a distant shore. So you may again be meeting somebody that doesn't live close at hand. We shall see. It could be a love story blossoming here. Moving, if you're with a person already, it's not that at all. Just could be a leisure trip for romantic reasons, or some sexy time in a local hotel, boutique hotel for fun, things like that. That's around January 8th, 9th, and 10th. But then on the 9th, Mars will go into the heart of the sun. Again, it's an auspicious day because it's at 19 degrees of Cap. If your Scorpio sun, moon, and rising is close to 19, it feels really good for you. But all of you Scorpios will feel like, oh, okay, what could you do with this? Well, Mars is like your deciding and acting guy. Make decisions and take actions. In the heart of the sun, he's getting a headquarters divine download, right? Information from the heavens about which way to go. What do I do next? So this divine download, inspiration, action plan thing can come through, but it can also come through an email or a phone call or a text because Mercury is there too. In fact, with Mercury in your third house, marketing, selling, communicating, writing, and teaching, and ideating and socializing are all super jam-packed for you. I mean, wow, geez. I mean, January 1st to January 20th. But this Cazimi is like, it's going to make a change. It's going to make a change in your neighborhood, in your sibling relationships, in your community that you have in your everyday life, in your social media, communicating, writing, marketing, selling strategies. Now, Mars has a penchant for joining the sun here on the irregular schedules of what I'm about to explain, because this is a reset button that doesn't just talk about your January story. It talks about January of this year to January of 2028. This is the inception, and Mars won't be visible until mid-March, so you might not see the results until mid-March. Here's what we're going to talk about, though. It goes back to your life in 1994 and 1995. So all of 94 and all of 95, or it goes back to all of 79 and all of 1980, when reset buttons happened at 5 cap and 29 cap in your third house in those years I talked about. And then over 2 years that followed, there were major changes here. Now you could have a fracture or a breakup with a childhood friend under this energy, or a sibling relationship with a new start or ending or something like that. But you have to go back and compare notes. Sometimes the only way to know what this might be is to go back and see what it could have been, like what happened last time, right? So I'll use an example for my Scorpio rising sun. I have permission granted. I've asked them if it's okay all the time. If I use it, family and friends, they know that I'm doing that. And I have criticism from you guys. Don't worry. I asked permission. But when my son was really young, right, when this last happened, 94, 95, right, then he was only 5 and 6 years old. Did anything happen? Absolutely. In those 2 years, we moved from Washington, D.C. to Annapolis, Maryland. He had to change schools. He had new friends, a new neighborhood, right? Still in Maryland, well, D.C., Maryland, still 45 minutes away. So it's possible then you can go, oh, maybe I changed my neighborhood. Maybe I moved my location to a different city or something. I want you to go back to 93, 94, right? What happened then? What happened 79, 80? You might be able to compare notes. Writers, maybe you launched a book, maybe you sold a project. I don't know. This is a writing house, marketing, communicating, major life events in those 2-year windows, each separate time. Now, when Mars is resetting a button here, he does try to translate it to benefit you directly. He's the Lord of your sign. It's going to benefit you in some way. My poor kid was failing kindergarten in the DC public system. When we moved, he went into a private school. He kind of redid kindergarten. It was pre-1, and he learned to read in like 3 months, where he couldn't learn anything in kindergarten, including, how to count, in a public school in DC. So you know what I'm saying? So the move to a private school to a new town was good for my son. So I'm just giving you an example that whatever changes happen, Mars will try to benefit you, but it also connects to improving your health, improving your work environment, improving situations regarding rental properties and pets and debts. So you get collateral benefit shifts and directions here. You'll notice there's this, triangle that's forming in the sky. Okay. Well, you may also be trying to heal a chironic wound to do with your health or your work, so that you can move into alignment with the work that's right for you. Now, on January the 3rd, because I almost forgot, we have a new moon. And if I forgot it for your sign, I do apologize. I can't remember everything all of the time. January 3rd, new moon, 13 degrees, full moon, full moon, full moon, full moon, full moon, January the 3rd in Cancer in your 9th house. Full moons are fulfillment and completion. So if you had a desire 6 months ago in June of last year, June of 25, to travel abroad, then you fulfill the desire. In the 6 months that follows, the fulfillment energy of that lunation. You could also fulfill things to do with spiritual practice, spiritual religion, fulfilling a court case. January 3rd, fulfillment energy connected to your 9th house in a moon conjunct Jupiter. Very blessed, very positive. I can't wait to do the video for that January 3rd lunation. I want to get that out beforehand because it's so damn juicy. Alrighty, now we're going to continue forward through time, because that's all we're doing. We're mapping time together, aren't we? And we're going to talk about this mini triangle that begins to form that brings a sustained almost 10-day blessing in the month of January. So if you want to see what I'm doing, I'm just calculating the days forward. And by the time we get to January 14th, it starts up on the 13th, but the 14th, you can see the blue triangle. This blue triangle is lucky. Opportunity meets grace, meets ease, meets flow. It's going to bring what you desire in easy and opportune ways. It's a Venus-Jupiter vibration. And what does it want to bring you? Well, this is love and romance and pregnancy and fertility and entrepreneurship and creative artistic success. The tip of the triangle. It's being activated by the stellium energy, but particularly it starts off with Venus being the main driver. And it wants to bring you, let's say, an artistic or entrepreneurial success. It wants to bring you a new romance because you're traveling or you're hanging in the hood. It wants to bring you a fated, new, destined, and long-term and soulmate romance for single Scorpios. It begins to be felt January 14th. With somebody, get pregnant on a trip. Get pregnant in the local environment. Go for it. Very fertile here. This is fertility goddess of sperm and ovum who exalts your baby making house, or your children are doing something like it. And here we see Venus trying to get this Saturn Neptune thing to work for you. And now I know you guys have been living with Saturn here since 2023. You work hard to be creative. Your romantic life feels hard. You know, you're not having a lot of fun sometimes, but you're disciplined about creative and entrepreneurial stuff, for example. But I want to tell you that this Venus, you know, flowing to this means that it's a lighter touch. Now, creativity feels easier. Your projects that you put out here have lasting long tail value. Your entrepreneurial business begins to move in harmony. And there's some unexpected surprises in the house of audience and marketplace. So it could be an unexpected fertility surprise that you and your partner got pregnant, but it can also be an unexpected surprise. It's something you created in the social media sphere, put online, has gone viral. What algal and surprise and wealth star really hit the mark with the audience or the public, and you can have a nice surge of success as a creative or an entrepreneur. My poor son, he's always putting stuff out on TikTok. He's a brilliant musician and sound engineer, but it could be his day in the sun, right? So January 14th, or Andy Warhol, 15 minutes of fame, guys. If you're going to put something on social media at this time, it's a really good idea to do it. And so January 14th, we get that love from Venus, and she can translate the love, as I mentioned, to your significant romantic life, as well as digital income and borderless revenue. We move forward, and then Venus is still covering your ass until January 17th. We're going to cover what she's doing here in a minute. Before that, though, we see that the sun is now opening up the storyline with this mini triangle. Ignore this other one. It's just ascendant dependent. Shit. I'm just going to get that distracting blue line out. So this is a triangle you want to focus on. Now we see the sun taking up the slack. Sun rules your 10th house of career, and it's visible, of course. So the sun could indicate an auspicious lucky break from the house of good fortune that surprises and shocks you, to do with career success, especially if you market, sell, teach, write, communicate on social media, and you may have a blast of recognition, celebrity fame, or some success or something, career, what you would call career success. So the sun is trying to bring that with Venus. Venus started the ball rolling. Now the sun, January 16th, 17th, 18th, is working the same beautiful triangle. And why the hell not? Are you kidding me? Sorry. My mistake. I thought I was going by day. Sorry, guys. And then we move forward, and we see that now the sun is finishing up the job, and it's at 29, 27 degrees. And all this looks like surprises, right? But third house surprises, travel, local neighborhoods, celebrity, social media, and all the love is here. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. Well, the sun is not going to stick around. The sun is going to end up moving here. And here we go with the next story. Now, before we get to the stellium and the wealth yoga here, which could include inheritance, okay, but hang in there. We'll notice that Mercury is now working it as well. Now, Mercury and Mars are going to be co-joined together here. And so you're going to notice that perhaps on the 19th and the 20th, that there's some kind of news or information coming that requires you to make an immediate decision or take some action, or some difficult or harsh news is coming into your life from a friend, a local neighborhood, a neighbor person, or a sibling. That could be like a day in the life of, but with all the good energy here, it could be positive news, just surprising you. But I do like that you have the energy here for commercial success. Mercury and Mars together are like commercial success, you know, business success. And so there's like a kind of business success vibe happening around January 19th and 20th, surprisingly so, bringing you good fortune. Also, Mars likes to travel. Mercury protects you in travel. So there could be a major trip that's happening here and everything is turning out better than you thought under the watchful protective eye of Jupiter, 19th and 20th of January. As I move forward on the story, before I get to the rest of it, which is Mars is going to pick up this triangle, you'll notice you're building a head of steam here in your fourth house. You're getting a stellium, mostly invisible, but it's a wealth yoga. Now, this wealth yoga will happen on the yearly of Venus conjunct Pluto, but until 2044. But this still holds a new moon vibration. And the reason is on the 18th, there is a new beginning and a fresh start here, a new moon in the house of local neighborhood, city environment. You're probably going to have a potential for a relocation opportunity within 6 months of the new moon, January 18th, but look for evidence of it within the first 2 to 3 weeks. So is this going to be a relocation, a fresh start, a new beginning regarding city or environment of your local neighborhood? Are you surprised by it? Is it going to be exciting? Is it going to bring more love or romance? Are you getting pregnant? You need a larger place with 3 bedrooms? I don't know. Something wants to maybe move you physically. If you don't move physically, which is fine, you could also have a reset button in how you approach social media environments, selling and marketing, teaching, communicating projects, and a fresh start. It'll take a full 6 months to unfold. But when we move the whole story over here, this is still new moon energy here. And so there's also a sense of a fresh start and a new beginning in home. So it's the same story, a new beginning, a fresh start, a new home, wealth, yoga. Okay. It's only because Mercury will join in here that I go with inheritances. This is Mercury, the Lord of the house of inheritances and the house of legacy wealth. Therefore, it is possible that you might come into some inheritance money from father figure energy coming off of this guy. Now, we could say January the 21st until, let's say, Venus leaves, because, we need the money goddess there. So January the 21st until January 21st to February 10th, you could come into some legacy wealth money from your family or your partner's family, and if you're married, okay? There's a possibility. I'm not going to say it's for sure. No promises here, but certainly potentially true. You probably won't get money in your hand, of course, because all these planets are still invisible, but notification that money may be coming to you is where I'm going with that. And then we move into the idea of that Mercury is co-joined the sun, called a Kazemi. Now, this is an auspicious day to send an email, take a meeting, make a phone call. Any communication things that you choose to enact on that day are blessed. So nothing wrong with that energy, like take it or leave it, but I think it's successful. So, but because it connects to the home life, major conversations that occur in the home are initiated that are very profound and important. They may be about money, about love, about secrets, about family of origin secrets even. But when we look at that day, that one day, the January 21st, is a good day to choose to do something. But things that you didn't know can be revealed, particularly about your growing up, your childhood, and your family origin. You might discover something. And Mercury is the ruler of, the boss of your 8th house of secrets. So we could go definitely some secrets maybe coming through the news cycle, that or the barrister gives you a call that you're going to inherit money or something like that. Well, what about the next story? And this reset button in the 4th house, it could relocate your home, right? Because Mercury is capable of doing that. He rules your mortgages, right? Once Mars gets in there, it adds the rental story. I'll just say you could be moving your home in the 6 weeks, or knowing that you will move your home in the 6 weeks that follows January 21st. Mars at the end of Capricorn finishes up a grand finale in this beautiful luck triangle. Look, it's a luck triangle. I should have said lucky January instead of exciting new directions, but whatever. It is lucky. Okay. Should tell my guy exciting and lucky new directions. Hang on. Hope he hasn't sent me them yet. Hang on. This is gonna get my thumbnail guy not to do the whole thing until you guys don't believe when I tell you things are lucky anymore, do you? He'll probably get those to me, and I don't want to make him have to start over. I'll put that in the title of the videos. Okay, so then this. No, I won't. Okay. This is important. So he finishes up this and he's a soloist. He's all by himself here. Everyone's moved on. He's not talking to them. It's just about Mars, decisions and actions to do with love and romance, audience and marketplace, creative and entrepreneurial projects, and fertility. Because as he's still here, the moon is exalted in Pisces. And this could be a moment in time where you know that you're going to become a grandparent, or you and your partner think that you have conceived or are going to have a child. Okay. We're looking at January 21st for this kind of energy right here. And then Mars moves into the stellium, and we're here on January the 23rd. Now, January 23rd, Mars will be here for quite a while. Don't forget, he will be in your fourth house until March the 2nd. January 23rd to March the 2nd could indicate a relocation. Mars likes to either travel far from home, so off you go on an international journey, or you're going to want to move your home, or worst case scenario, you could hammer, nail, and renovate and decorate and fix your home, because Venus says decorate and Mars says cut, sever, like tear the wallpaper down, saw off that thing. So you could be renovating your home. You could be, fixing your home, beautifying your home, Venus. But then Mars here can also have you arguing with people in the home. Be careful. So this could be a more contentious window of January 23rd to March 2nd, where you're more prone to fighting with people in the home. With Venus there, she'll protect you from fighting. So you probably won't be fighting, because Venus will be here till February 10th. But that makes February 10th to March 2nd more likely to fight with someone in your home, disagreement, arguing, conflict. Mars is here every 2 years, so it's not a life-threatening situation. If you're going to move your home, and this could be a move, right? You're going to change your home. We see evidence of that. Well, we need Mars more to be coming into visibility, but for the real move, maybe, unless you have a secret move you don't tell people about. But potentially you could be planning to move your home, packing your bags, organizing, rethinking it. And Mercury says mortgages, finance, refinancing, buying and selling as well. Based on your chart. So yeah, there could be some really significant move your home stories that begin to emerge January 23rd through to March 2nd. Mars and Pluto together for the world brutal, right? I don't know, false flag terrorist event, anyone? But this for you isn't that. Unstoppable determination and drive, willpower, highly motivated, kind of like willpowers of steel, motivation that's like extraordinary regarding matters of your home life. However, with the sun there, Mars, Pluto, sun could mean the passing of a father figure in your life, or it could be in the life of your significant other with Mercury there, like an in-law. Can't pretend I don't see that. And so if you have an ailing elderly father figure, it could be grandpa, great uncle Joe, or your partner does as well. This could be a signature for that as well. Soon Uranus moves into your 8th house. That's going to activate inheritance energy with electric bolts of change. And Mars will be here with Pluto, right, all the way through until March 2nd. So I'm not saying that on January 22nd, 7th, some legacy wealth thing with the death of a father figure happens. That's ridiculous. Now, the other way, but it could happen through to March 2nd. And then with the sun down here as well, then it could be a massive, sudden, shocking, but powerful and determined change of career path. Like you're going to quit one path that you've been on and no longer do that. You're like, I'm out of here, and that's okay. If that's what that is, I think you'll be well served by that. Neptune moves into the 6th house for not all signs. I forgot to mention that. We're going to be doing a deep dive video. He will be here for 14 whole years. You're looking for your dream job. You're looking for work that satisfies your soul, that's creative, artistic, has an enlightenment that brings you into a sense of visionary empowerment in the work that you do. And when Saturn joins Neptune, which is so exciting, and they co-join together, Saturn will be there Valentine's Day. You're going to spend like a good 3 years trying to create your dream job, dream work, dream livelihood. You'll see what I mean. No more compromise, right? And you've been feeling that need to do that since 2019, whether you admit it to yourself or not. Now, I want to mention that Mars and Pluto here, like kind of death and rebirth and intensity with the sun, that also Mars could translate this 4th house intensity, right? Because that's, whatever, to major life changes in your work. So again, I see the work from the solar perspective and the Martian perspective. I don't know why you're doing that. Maybe you're making a major life decision from your quiet home-based private life to quit some job path, work, career path, but it potentially quit you as well, like the company shuts down or lays people off. And that's okay. Something better is coming. And finally, at last, the good news. Mercury will co-join with Venus, which we translate as good news. Good news around land, property, and real estate coming through January 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. So whatever it is, you're happy to get it. You're like, yay me. Look at that. Continued good news till January 30th. Like, hallelujah. And that's like a lovely time for you. So some good news around property, land, home, real estate, around fertility and pregnancy, maybe around matters to do with moves and renovations and changes of home and money and inheritance. And it's not always good news when someone passes away, but it's good news if you expect them to eventually pass away, like they're 95 years old, and you're going to receive money. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit my notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Come to my Mercury webinar, free. It's in the description box. Come to my Mars webinar. It's paid, but it's a deep dive for 2 hours, an hour and a half. How to handle this Mars reset button with different kinds of advice that you won't get on my channel for your sign. And finally, don't forget to help my channel thrive. I'm so in the space right now where if the subs don't come back up and suddenly this channel is like a stalled airplane and it like crashes to the ground, then I'm okay with that. Like I'll go off and start doing more Substack and find other paths. But if you could share this with friends and family and also like it could just be a very bad version of December's normal sludgy time. I don't think I've ever had only 100 subscribers in 1 week of content. That would be way outside the box of anything this channel's ever had happen. And I hear other astrologers and other channels talking about the same thing going on in December, and we don't know why. So it may be system wide. Maybe it's not just me. All right. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to, do all the things. Subscribe. Thanks.